He did something he knew better. He had more time in country than me. You approach a bunker, you throw a grenade in, you shoot it, then you look in. But he was low and he was moving, and the bunker opening was like right there. And he did this, and he shot him right in the head. Damn. I'm tired. You got three kinds of people, from what I can discern, that in combat. When you get your first kill, some people, it makes them almost sick, physically ill. They really can't deal with it. I mean, it's like, then at the other extreme,
there's another one.
You have those people who get that rush. And when you kill, you get this rush. It is the supreme power act. It almost gives you a God complex. And some guys, when they do it, they like it. In the middle, you got the guys who get the rush, but they fight with the moral conflict. All right. When you raised all your life, and you're raised in the church, and you go to Sunday school every Sunday, and you go to church, and you know the 10 Commandments, and you know thou shalt not kill. Ain't no subtitle, ain't no footnotes to it. It's just point blank. And so that's drilled into you. Then you're in the military, and your job is to kill. And when you do it, if you're not on one of those extremes, you're in the middle. You know it's wrong, but you felt it. And as I come across the top, I hear, "Sing!" It sounded like a steel mosquito, and it was a sniper. But he had missed me, right? And of course I got low and I took off. But that shot, to hear a round so close that, you didn't hear the shot out, bam. What you hear, you heard the round as it passed your head. And the only sound I can think of, it sounds like a steel mosquito. It's going to, and if you don't defecate on yourself, you get out the area. You don't have time to think about dying. Very rarely now you think about dying. We used to say attitude check, and everybody say it. You say, this is what you have to say to yourself. If I die, I won't know nothing about it. And then you go, You can't be, after that first firefight, after your first 30 days, you don't think about dying, about you getting killed or you getting hurt. You think about killing the enemy. Then in that last 30 days, when it's almost time to go home, is when you're like, damn, a short time.
Scared, yeah.
And that's when you get so cautious, and you stop moving off of instinct, and you stop moving off of training, and you just nervous because you don't want to get killed in your last 30 days. That's when you get hit.
I was 20 years old. I was drafted. Vietnamese when they called me the little kid. They said, no, you look like a little kid. You don't belong here. Well, I said, my government says I do. So.
Get ready to fight, boy.
But the jungles, they were hot. It was muggy with the humidity. You see rain every day. We got rained on every day, and we slept in it. We slept in the mud. So we were always wet. As far as clean clothes, I wore my first set for roughly 80 days. 80 days, I only had like 4 or 5 changes of clean clothes while I was there. I carried 100 pounds. I didn't weigh much more than 100 pounds. I weighed about 120, so I carried 100 pounds. You didn't want to run short in case you hit the shit. And I carried claymore mine, trip flares, 3 to 4 smokes, 6 hand grenades, 2,000 rounds of M60 ammo, and I carried 9 quarts of water, and C rations and a poncho, and C4 for blown LZs and det cord. So you had to have all that stuff on you. So plus my M16 and 3 bandoliers of M16 ammo, 7 magazines to a bandolier. It was a proud, the company was a proud company, and the unit was a proud unit, We were a swing battalion. Wherever the shit was hitting the fan, we had to get to an LZ and get picked up and flown into the hot spot. But it wasn't dull. It was a hell of a camping trip, but very serious, You kind of look forward to getting picked up and getting out of the jungle in the helicopter, because that was you knew you were pretty safe, you were secure up there as long as you didn't fall out. Still, you were being moved to another area where there's trouble, another shithole. But I have an air medal, and that's for 25 CAs into an unsecured LZ. I survived long enough to get the air medal. You were scared, but you couldn't feel scared because it would overtake you. They're watching you, and you just try to keep your distance between each person. And this way, they're not going to get greedy. The gooks always kind of liked to seem like they wanted to get greedy, so they wanted to wait for somebody to bunch up, and then if they were going to mess with you, then they'd come at you. I was just another person in the squad, up in the mountains, in the platoon in the company, doing what we did was to protect each other. We were fighting because we were thrown in there, and we were fighting to get our own selves back home. We had to protect each other to get back. I think about it all the time, I got those photographs, just make sure that it's not a dream, and that it's actually took place. It's there. You remember your buddies, you remember what they did, even though you're not in contact with them all. The good times that you had, even the shitty times that you had, over there. But it's a true brother friendship. It's a bond that don't ever break.